All right. So, oh, motherfucker. You know what's funny? I actually meant to go check and see what the number for this episode was.
Well.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
So, anyway, Zach, it has been months, like literal months, since we've last recorded. I don't even remember the last one.
Entire civilizations have rose and fallen again.
You might hear my wife in the background. She was not asked to speak. She's supposed to be asleep right now. It's past her bedtime. I tell her what to do, and she does it, right? Anyway, so I guess a little bit of explaining is in order first. Like the fact that my audio is spiking the hell out of Audacity right now. Like I am watching this.
Yeah,
it's rough.
You like I said, you're coming in really, really like bassy and somewhat muffled. I don't know.
I'm just gonna mess with the mic right now while we're doing this. Who cares?
Get it a little further away from you, because fucking Yeti will pick up shit from 3 rooms over. So
I cannot get that far away, dude. It's connected to a desk and I'm sitting at it.
I mean, that sounds better. Whatever you just did, that sounds much better. So
it's still spiking pretty hard,
but you sound clear, because you did not sound clear before. But everyone loves hearing us trying to figure out audio shit on the fly, because it's fine.
I don't know. I need to figure out why the hell Discord keeps fucking beeping when I told it not to give me notifications. It's like every 6 seconds. It's just burger.
It just wants your love.
It makes that sound that Sonic the Hedgehog makes when he's drowning underwater. That walker.
Oh. Yeah.
Discord, you need to shut the fuck up. But anyway, so a little bit of explanation is in order. The last podcast that we recorded was supposed to talk about American Gangster.
Yes.
And this was back in, like, September?
Was it September? Feels further back.
It was a while, but the point of this is that as we were recording these podcasts, my old computer was just not having it. Like, even recording and editing audio, it was kind of sputtering along. So over the course of that year, I had been slowly putting together pieces toward a new computer, and was waiting to get that done before we started recording it, because I just didn't want to risk anything. And I finally finished it toward the end of November, beginning of December. And, Christmas holiday rush, Zach and I went to MagFest the beginning of the year. So we wanted to wait to start doing this again. And this is our comeback episode. But we will be talking, I guess, briefly about American Gangster. And I'm sure a ton of other shit that's happened that's not really relevant anymore. Because that's what this is about. Shit that's just not relevant anymore.
Mm-hmm. At least by the time it goes out, it definitely won't be.
So, yeah, it's been a hot minute, Zach. What's been going on in Zachland?
Been in a D&D group since the last time we recorded. Finally got into a fucking D&D group. I had to realize the fact that I'm probably never going to get a actual physical in the same room D&D group together, but through the power of the internet and Discord and everything, and Discord fucking plugins for dice rolling, D&D Beyond, all that shit. So I've been having a really good time.
And that's with Macon?
Yeah, that's with Macon and like a bunch of his buddies and everything. We just finished a campaign and decided to retire the characters and roll up new characters, and it's I'm assuming this is a pre-existing module or something, unless this is just something he came up with. I really don't know. It's called Acquisitions Incorporated. Is it?
I think that already exists.
Okay, it's where you and your party do a business, like start up a business and do business things, but also do dungeons and shit like that to make the business profitable and everything like that. It's a good time.
because when I think of fun, in
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons, I think of, bookkeeping and accounting.
Yeah, well, one other character did that. He got into it too. He had a whole fucking like physical notebook with fucking spreadsheets and everything. I was just the butler.
We wrapped up our one campaign right after we stopped recording, and that was one that had been going on for about a year and a half, almost maybe 2 years. I don't know. It was a long time. That was a really fun one. That was Tomb of Annihilation, and we haven't had one up since. There may be another group starting soon. I'm kind of hoping so. I'm definitely wanting to scratch that D&D itch.
God.
But
I want to play more. Like, one night isn't enough. I want to play more.
Yeah, I would really like to play more. I like the one game that Macon was running.
Oh, Ogre Lawn Trail.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one, but it's just playing was so infrequent.
Yeah, it was that, and the some of the people we were playing with just didn't. It didn't mesh well together. So
no, I did not actively seek to break his game, but if you're gonna let me, I'm gonna do it. And then on top of that, it was a weird mesh of people that had played the game and knew what they were doing, and people that just I don't really think understood the spirit of the game.
Another person who was a bullrog. I have the power to have all powers.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I really enjoyed my little skeleton character that I had going there for a while, but aside from D&D, what else is new with you?
We've been watching a shit ton of movies via the library. Like,
yeah.
And a lot of them are like
having fun's not hard with a library card.
There you go.
Hashtag Arthur. There you go.
Like, we've watched a bunch of movies that came out last year, like 2019, and that I had just never heard of, and it really pushed home how much the big budget Disney / Marvel movies, how like much space, I guess, on the marquee, so to speak, like those movies took over. Because these are some movies I had never heard of, and we watched them. Like, that was pretty good. They ranged from like good to like just really, really good. Like, none of them were bad movies that we watched, and it was just kind of sad. I'm like, these are just like some standalone movies. They aren't adaptations. They aren't sequels. They aren't prequels or reimaginings or anything like that, and they're really solid flicks. And this is the first I've ever even heard of them even existing. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of sad.
Can you name any of them?
Let's see. We watched. Now I've got to fucking dig in my brain for the ones we did watch. One was called not the fucking. Was one called The Visitor? I think. One was called The Visitor, I think. I might be wrong on that one.
Visitor.
It might be The Visitor.
That's not ringing a bell.
One of them was Widows.
Was that the one with, what's her name from Mad Men, where, like, their husbands get arrested and they become crime lords or something?
Yeah. It has, it has Liam Neeson in it, and
thinking of the right movie then.
Yeah, this one has Liam Neeson, and he's and in the movie he's married to a black lady, and it was very knowing what we know about Liam Neeson now.
Yeah, I'm glad you corrected that, because a Southerner complaining about a white man being married to a black woman, that could have went down a real dark path.
No, the shit that came out about Liam Neeson around Black History Month in 2019, it made...
Yes, I remember.
Missy and I were just like, oh no! But,
what else did you see?
Fuck. What was, I am blanking on some of the names, but...
Was it Blank Man?
It was not Blank Man.
Disappointing.
Yeah, no, but Blank Man is great.
You're just on a racist tirade tonight, aren't you?
I'm digging into that Southern pocketbook of mine and pulling out all the cards. But no, we just watched a bunch of movies. Really has been. It was something like we watched something like 3 of them in one day.
What did we see?
And they were really good. And so yeah,
we haven't seen a ton of movies. Like we kind of took a breather on seeing a bunch of them. And let's see, we did see not Hereditary, Midsummer. We got that from the
Midsommar.
Midsummer. So yeah, once again, much like Hereditary, I felt like it was really overrated.
Misty watched that. She said about the same thing. She's just she said one character can get fucked, but otherwise it was like really slow. She didn't really care for it that much.
It is it's a movie that you need to show to somebody who doesn't understand that they need to break up with their significant other. It's a great example of an abusive relationship. It's a terrible example of a horror film.
Okay.
But one of the movies I can think of that we did see that I loved every minute of, and it might be in like my top 5 favorite films of all time.
Cats.
It completely floored me.
It was Cats.
It was definitely Cats. Yes, it was 100% Cats. No, it was Rise of Skywalker. No, it wasn't. It was Parasite.
I thought you were legit going to be like, it was Rise of Skywalker. I haven't even seen it, but boy, I've heard enough about it.
Oh, you're going to fucking hear about it tonight. But no, we saw Parasite by Bong Joon-ho, who also did Snowpiercer.
I wanted to see Parasite, and I haven't gotten to.
I cannot stress to you how fucking amazing that film was. I was glued to my seat the entire time. I have never seen a movie shift from like dark comedy to straight up horror as in the span of seconds, Zach. Like seconds. It is mind-blowing how good this movie is. It comes out on Blu-ray in like 2 weeks. I'm not even kidding. I will send you a copy. Like, just
all right, I'll take that.
I'm not going to send you a copy.
Damn,
get it from your library.
Damn.
Hashtag not having fun with library.
Oddly enough, I also watched a movie that did the exact same thing, only in the opposite direction, and was bad.
Okay, can you talk about bad movies in a minute?
Yeah, go ahead. I've got, because I have like 2 movies I saw today I want to talk about. But yeah, go on with Parasite.
Yeah, we're gonna let you do that. What else can you think of that we saw? Like, Parasite left a really good impression.
We're talking about good movies.
We're just what movies did we see? Like Frozen in between,
2.
We did see Frozen 2, which wasn't terrible. It wasn't like I enjoyed the first one. We saw that twice in theaters because Junin really liked it. This one wasn't bad. It was a perfectly good sequel that's gonna print $1 billion because
I heard it was here is a movie to sell some more toys.
Yeah, it's like some of the music's really good. Visually, it is gorgeous. I forgot how long it had been since the first one came out. So,
did we talk about Joker?
The Frozen 2. Yeah, did we get to talk about Joker?
I mean, not on here. Joker only came out like a month or 2 ago.
Joker comes out on Blu-ray in like a month. I think it came out longer than that, man.
It came out already.
Yeah, like when did Joker release?
It was November or December.
Huh?
Maybe September?
I want to say it was like September, October. Regardless, you did see Joker, right?
Yeah. Okay. I really liked
so
it too.
We will talk about Joker also. I love that movie.
Welcome to the Retrotainment movie cast.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of bullshit today. We saw Joker. There was Frozen. Obviously, I saw Rise of Skywalker. I will rant about that movie after Zach rants about his. I feel like I'm forgetting like some really obvious ones, and I'm blanking right now.
It's been a while, to be fair.
Yeah, it has been a while. That Black Widow trailer came out. You know, I wanted to talk about that because that actually looks decent for a Black Widow movie. It's going to be an interesting movie for a character that we saw die for no reason whatsoever. Oh, spoilers, by the way, if you haven't seen
Endgame.
In fucking Infinity War, Endgame, whatever.
Well, we did talk about that one, so we spoiled the shit out of it already.
Oh yeah, that's true. Listen to the old podcast, you assholes. Why the hell are you starting with this one? What else? Oh, Weathering with You comes out next week. I am super excited for that. Makoto Shinkai, who did Your Name and Voices of a Distant Star and a ton of other great movies. That comes out in a week, so we'll definitely be seeing that. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Saw that.
July.
I have that one to watch. It is, we have that one from the library. I'm probably going to watch it Monday. So if you wanted to
We saw that twice in theaters. I love that movie.
Okay.
It was great. It's not the best Tarantino film. It's just a really easy watch. Good. There we go. Okay, so apparently Discord shit itself. So
Discord pooped itself real hard, so please remember to cut my bit out, because I never actually stopped recording. I was just like, I didn't want to fuck anything up. I didn't want anything to break.
Yeah, I just paused the recording, so it's going to be a lot of cutting. Whatever, who cares? Anyway, we were last talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I think
you were about to talk about the dirty feet.
Oh, fucking dirty feet everywhere. Dirty feet, but hot as shit. Not the feet. Nothing to do with that. Ugh. I don't get Tarantino's obsession with feet.
I believe that's called a fetish.
A fetish is what it's called.
A fetish.
Get it right.
He wants to slurp them toes.
Yeah, I really did enjoy Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Unlike Rise of Skywalker, which
I'm gonna watch it Monday. So
you haven't seen Rise of Skywalker yet?
I haven't seen that either, but like, you can talk about all you want. I've already listened to like 2 different podcasts, like, spoil it. I really just, I don't think I care. I think I'm just like, I'll watch it eventually. I didn't even watch Solo. I think this generation of Star Wars movies just like...
Gotta watch Mandalorian, man.
Just, yeah, the child, officially known as the child, but you know he's Baby Yoda.
Mandalorian was excellent. It's essentially...
I've heard that just people say, you know what? Watch Mandalorian. You don't have to watch Rise of Skywalker.
Because the Mandalorian is a modern A-Team. I'm not even kidding. There's an A-Team episode. He goes to a planet. It has nothing to do with the story. He meets an ex-soldier. They protect a village of poor people from stormtroopers. They set up traps. They do a training montage. It is a modern A-Team. Like,
cool.
Or MacGyver, whichever one you want to go with. But yeah, Mandalorian was great. Disney Plus came out. We didn't really get to talk about that. Disney Plus, also known as My Simpsons Archive. That's really all.
Yeah, that's a good sell. Like, if there was anything to sell somebody, like, here is all the Simpsons
and Gargoyles.
Yeah, and Gargoyles.
And
Here's all the Disney and Fox and.
Not all of Fox, and because I thought about this the other day, I looked it up. They're not putting Futurama on there right now because they want to maintain the family friendly aspect of it, which is weird because some of the early Simpsons stuff is definitely not family friendly.
Yeah, that is kind of odd.
Also, Song of the South. Once again, I'm always going to bring that up when it comes to Disney, but. Anyway, so yeah,
problematic.
Bunch of stuff came out, bunch of movies came out. I would love to bitch about Rise of Skywalker. Maybe I will later in this episode. I don't know. I could do a whole hour me complaining about that thing.
The bitch cast.
Ugh, but
the whatever episode this is, 0.5 Star Rise of Skywalker cast.
Yeah, welcome to episode 95 of the Retrotainment Podcast, where we will be spending this entire episode talking about the fact that Rise of Skywalker was fueled with nothing but MacGuffins. That's it.
I heard it was a big old walk back. Just walk that shit back. You don't need that second movie. You just watch 1 and 3, or whatever. 7 and 9. Just watch 7 and 9. That's all you need. We walked it back real hard.
There were times when I really wanted to walk out of the theater.
That's pretty bad because you are a massive Star Wars mark. I'm really not. You are though.
I love Star Wars, and here's the thing: I'm not one of the people that's going to go online and yell at people who like this movie. If you're not gonna
harass the fucking actors and make them delete their Twitter.
Oh my god, those people are asshats. Look, here's the thing: I grew up with Star Wars.
Fucking
it means
sad.
a lot to me. if you liked Rise of Skywalker, more power to you. I'm glad you enjoyed the movie. I fucking hated almost every single minute of this movie.
Man, that's impressive.
It was impressive how... It was really impressive how they managed to write a story and then go back on what they had just written like 5 minutes earlier. Like, I'm not even kidding. There is a scene in the movie where you see Chewbacca get blown up in a ship. It is the only ship that you can see. It gets blown up. Rey assumes that she's killed Chewie through her actions. And I'm like, damn, they just killed Chewie. That's a serious, like, emotional investment that they've just wiped out of this film. Like, this is going to affect Rey as a character. This is really cool. And then they show Rey, like, visibly affected by it. I'm like, all right, this is a step in the right direction. It doesn't always need to be, you know, something positive. And then the next scene, they're like, wait a minute. Chewie's fucking alive. He was on another transport ship that was right there.
Oh, thank God! I didn't murder my friend. I only murdered a bunch of other people. Dodge that bullet.
Here's the thing, right? There are a lot of things about this movie that I hate. The one thing I think that like rubs me the worst is the very beginning of the movie. It starts off so fucking fast. It's just 0 to 120. You are right in the middle of the action. And they're trying to find this Sith Wayfinder thing to get to this planet to stop the Emperor, who somehow fucked somebody at some point and had a kid. Who fucked Palpatine? Who fucked that grizzled, wrinkled, raisin-looking motherfucker? Like, who made a kid with him at some point? Like, spoilers, where I'm gonna ruin a lot of Rise of Skywalker, but anyway, ignoring that,
it sounds like it ruined itself. Womp womp.
They find out that there was this, like, I guess, bounty hunter guy or whatever that was going after someone who was looking for the Wayfinder, and they go to this, like, festival planet that looks like Burning Man, filled with nothing but aliens, and they're like, oh, I remember where that one person's ship is who was here all these years ago with Luke Skywalker, and it's still conveniently out in the desert. Okay, there's MacGuffin number one. So they go all the way out into the desert, avoiding these these stormtroopers. They find this dude's ship, which somehow hasn't been scrapped by Jawas, hasn't been destroyed by the passage of time. It's just sitting on a rock. There's MacGuffin number two. And then I think the thing that frustrates me the most, and when you watch the movie you'll see this, they walk out into the desert to go to this ship, right? Like, they get off their little speeder bike, they're walking to the ship, and they manage to step in the one patch of quicksand in the entire desert that pulls them into an underground cavern that drops them in front of the corpse of the pilot of this ship, who's carrying a knife with Sith inscriptions on it that no one in the universe can translate except C-3PO. But C-3PO can't translate Sith because it goes against his programming, which implies that little fucking 8-year-old Anakin Skywalker, who made C-3PO, programmed into that goddamn robot, you can do all this stuff. You can speak 12 million languages, but if you fucking translate Sith, so help me God, I'm gonna beat the crap out of you, stupid robot. Why would an 8-year-old stop a robot from, like, translating Sith? That's such a stupid fucking MacGuffin. So they take this magical knife with Sith language on it that tells them where they're going to go, and they walk through the cave and find a giant fucking snake that is hurt, and then Rey heals it like Jesus, because now the Force can fucking do anything, apparently.
Yeah, that pretty much tracks with
I swear to
what I've
God.
been...
Like, alright, I'm starting to get a little heated up about this, so I'm going to cut
You want me to talk about the couple movies I saw today? Because I made one saw one that made me super happy, and one that made me super mad.
Why don't we start with the bad ones? We could just keep this pain train going, and then we'll move into the good.
Well, you talked about how Parasite was did a shift.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Like halfway through. Yeah. Okay. Have you ever seen? Came out in 2009. It was called House of the Devil. Have you ever seen that movie?
Oh, come on! I loved House of the Devil.
Did you? Have you seen it recently?
T.I. West?
Because it's fucking...
Are we talking about, like, let's make sure we're talking about the right one. Like, the girl, like, gets the babysitting gig, goes to the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. It was a good throwback horror.
Half of the movie is really good. it builds up so much like tension.
Yeah, and then
like
that
she's
girl
in the
gets
house,
shot in the head or something, and I fucking jumped. Like, it was like a solid 40 minutes of just tension, and then someone pulls out a gun on someone in the car. It's like, holy crap.
And it goes further than that. Like, she's in the house, she's hearing thumps every once in a while, she's kind of like investigating, she's kind of being a shitty babysitter.
It is
getting
the
into
most
people's
tense pizza ordering scene in cinema history.
And then the Satanists show up. And that is when it becomes stupid. Like, so they have her, they like had drugged the pizza or whatever. And she wakes up, she's strapped to the fucking Satan pentagram. You know, she's getting like ritualed by the family of the mom, the dad, the kid, and
forget
like
the name of the guy
fucking
who plays
grandma.
the father, but he
was really good.
He's such a good actor. He's been in so many
really
fucking
good
things, and I can't remember his name.
No, he was great. But like, so she's getting ritualed a little bit, and then she fucking okay, this is where this family of Satanists become the most inept fucking bad guys I've ever seen. She gets her hand out of the rope, which fucking, I guess they've never tied a knot. This must be their first ritual sacrifice. But she pulls her hand out of the rope, scratches grandma, manages to pull her feet and hands and everything out of the other ropes, and no one stops her. Gets up, stabs the dad with something as she's running out, and then like the kid, or like the son or whatever, he like catches her a little bit, then she pokes him in the eye and proceeds to get away. She gets upstairs a little bit more. He's got a fucking gun. She has a knife. She's on the ground. She somehow, I don't know, fucking One Piece gum arms her fucking arm with a knife from the ground all the way up to his throat and cuts his throat. That annoyed the shit out of me. It's fucking, so he's dead. Then the mom catches her, but then the mom's like, decides she needs to go pray to Satan for a second, so she just turns away from her, prays to Satan a little bit, and the girl just stabs her. This movie is a fucking Battlefield Knife Storm. She's put the game on easy mode, I swear to God. So she fucking stabs her, the mom. She gets out, and then the dad's like, "Oh, don't do it." And then he's like, "Yeah, you got Satan's kid or whatever, and you don't do it." And she's just like, so she shoots herself, but she lived though, because end credits, she's just in the hospital pregnant with Satan's kid. Like, the movie was great up until the Satanists showed up, and those are the most incompetent fucking villains I've ever seen. Like, it made me mad how fucking bad they were.
I am very sorry. I will agree with you that, like, the end of that movie shifted tonally, like, very weird. I get what they were going for, but I felt like there should have been more, like, allusion to it in the house itself, that something was like possibly going to go wrong. Maybe I just missed it, but no, I still love that movie, mainly because I'm a sucker for like late 70s 80s style horror, and the beginning to like middle of that movie is nothing but a throwback to it.
The last like 30 to 20 minutes is killed it for me. Everything up to that point I really liked,
and that sucks. I still recommend that movie to people too.
That is one that just like I was really invested in, and it just let me down in the climax. But
the funny thing is, I felt that way about his other movie. Like, after I watched The House of the Devil, I found out he did a movie called The Innkeepers, and I watched that, and that movie just was really disappointing. So T.I. West has been very hit or miss with me. If you can find it, I don't know if it's on Amazon, but it's called The ABCs of Death. We
watched that one.
Did we?
Yeah, we did, because I specifically remember F is for fart.
Yeah, T.I. West did he did the one where the guy like gets murdered by the toilet or something. I think it was like T is for toilet, or he did one of the stories in that. Yeah, Mari's laughing at toilet because she's fucking 6.
I mean,
so anyway, what's the movie that you enjoyed?
It's on Amazon, oddly enough. It's called Fast Color. Have you seen this?
I have not. You already asked me this.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I mentioned it to you, because I suddenly went into every chat I was a part of and was like, everyone, please go see Fast Color. Okay, so it is a movie about like all the women in this family have this this ability or superpower or whatever, where they can deconstruct something to dust, right? And
Okay.
put it back together exactly the way it was. Like that's the power. They can't like fix anything that was already broken with it. It can only be, however they just took it apart, they can put it back together the exact same way. But so like all these women in this family have this power, however many generations passed, and except for like the kind of like the main character, and she's kind of on the run because something's kind of screwy with her power, so she'll have these seizures, and it basically causes these massive earthquakes when she has them, and like for like the past few like something like 8 or 9 years, it wasn't really implied if it's like the whole world or if it's just this part of the US, but it hasn't rained in 8 years.
Huh.
But and it's just a really good movie. I had heard about it on another podcast and really went into it knowing nothing. Excuse me. And I don't know. I really like it. If you got Amazon, you should watch it. It's an hour and it might be like an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. Think about 120 minutes is what it was. Really fucking solid movie.
I'll have to look it up.
I think it had a really limited release in theaters, so
The title sounds like vaguely familiar.
yeah, I don't think it was in theaters too long. That or it had to go up against one of the Disney juggernaut movies or something.
All right, so since we spent essentially the first 30 minutes of this talking about movies, and we're going to end it by talking about 2 other movies. What have you played? Did you play anything interesting in like the months we've been gone?
Due to work, I haven't played a ton of stuff.
Yeah, same here.
What I did play, and actually kind of recently, did the Xbox Game Pass. I like dusted off the X-Bone, and got like a $1 for 3 months Game Pass thing in December. So I finally got to play Gears 5, which I really liked. I'm a fucking Gears of War mark. Like, fuck, I love that series. I love the characters. I love the world.
Day, isn't it?
It's the fucking. It's just. It works. It just works. But I played that. Had a really good time with it. I played through Life is Strange 2.
Oh, really?
Did you ever play the first one?
No, not
it was
all
good.
of it.
I think I liked the first one a little bit better, but I really liked this one. This one is more about the bond between 2 brothers. That's kind of like the core theme of this one.
I know the first one took on like a life of its own in terms of the fan base, and I think I even own all of it on the Xbox. I just never got around to playing all of it.
It's good. I've played all the Life is Strange stuff. Well, okay, I think there was like a little Max special episode thing that they put out. Maybe it might be something you can buy now, but before it was like you can only play this if you bought the special edition of the Life is Strange, and it was just like I did not buy that, so I will not be playing it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I know I've played all the Life is Strange stuff otherwise, and I don't know. I really like those Telltale style, new style, like point and click.
Yeah, they're basically
branching
narrative
choices
stories with like gameplay in it.
Yeah, I love those kind of games. Those are just kind of nice to sit back and just enjoy. Yeah. So beyond that, I don't think I've played a ton. I beat a JRPG. Oh, I beat Dragon Quest VIII. First like JRPG I've beaten without some kind of fucking easy mode in years and years. So that was a nice treat.
Cool. I have not had time to play much of anything
Yeah, I mean, otherwise that's pretty much the same as me.
I've been playing with the Oculus Quest. Got one of those.
We never got to mess around with those. I wanted to check that out.
Yeah, that thing is a ton of fun. I actually just modified mine a couple days ago, so it's got a better audio setup on it. I have been playing a lot of Control on the PS4.
Oh, that's right. I started playing that today. I meant to mention that.
That game has been an absolute gem. Like,
it's a fever dream so far.
Hey, dude, you have no fucking clue.
I'm
about 6 or 7 hours into that game.
Okay, I might be an hour or two. Like, I got to the first flying enemy. Yeah, and that's where I went ahead and set it down. The only problem so far I'm having is I'm getting kind of lost in the office setting.
Here's the thing. The thing about Control that's really fucking weird is it is intimidating how fucking it's a Metroidvania basically.
Yeah, it certainly seems that, because there's doors you can't open, you gotta have a clearance level or whatever.
So the thing is that I've noticed with Control that I don't think I've ever seen with another game. The more of the map you uncover, the easier it is to understand where things are. It's weird. But yeah, I picked that up on a buy two get one free sale for GameStop. I got a copy for me and I got a copy for him for Christmas. Mm-hmm. And I think I started playing it right before MagFest, and I've just been hooked. Like, the visual style of that game and the weird story, it's so fucking captivating to me. And I love games that push me to explore every little nook and cranny, to get collectibles, because I want more of the story.
Oh my god, there's so many collectibles. I've already picked up 50 of those things in the first hour and a half.
Yeah, so
so much to read.
Yeah, and every single one of those explains part of this building. And the physics of this game are probably the greatest I've ever seen in a game. It is so satisfying. I'll just turn the game on and just shoot shit to see how it reacts to the gun. Lifting stuff up and throwing it is really satisfying.
Did you play Quantum Break? I know you played Alan Wake.
No, I never played Quantum Break.
Because that's by them. Apparently, Control references both of those games.
It does. There's a room in the base, one of the basement levels you can find, that plays a song that's in all of the games, apparently.
Is it Children of the Elder Gods?
I think it is.
Children of the Elder Gods.
But so it when it comes to games like this that have really tiny details to pick out, I love physics games because I love seeing how things interact with this. But I saw something in this game, and I actually discovered it today, that is so impressive that it's programmed into the game that I really want to speak with a developer just to figure out how they did it. So you play an hour game. Have you come across any of the projectors yet that are showing the scientists talking to you?
I found one of a TV that he's where he's telling you about the floppy disk that gives you the psychokinesis.
Yeah, so not the TV.
I found
you'll come across you'll come across real projectors, movie projectors that are showing him on a screen. By the way, speaking of the TVs, wait till you find the fucking TV shows with the weird fucking puppet kids that are a horror show.
I found one. I hated it.
Yeah. Okay. When you start exploring, there's one all the way in the bottom level of the building. It's hidden in a back area. And it has this guy named Mr. Bones in it. Dude, I have seen legitimate murder on the internet. Things that you can't get out of your head once you've seen them. This episode of this was just absolute nightmare fuel. It's so fucking weird. But getting back to the thing that impressed me. So you find these movie projectors, and they'll have this scientist. I think his name is Darling. I'm having trouble locking names to characters in this game because there are so many of them. But generally, this guy will come up and start explaining, things about the building, things about your abilities or whatever. What I learned you can do is, when you have psychokinesis, you can essentially lift up almost anything in this game. If you pick up the movie projector, you can move it, and it will display that movie on any surface that you move it against.
Huh.
So
that's interesting.
It's the video file itself is stored inside of the item file for that projector. But you know, like when you're using psychokinesis, it's telekinesis, Kyle.
Yeah.
Like things don't hold still perfectly. Like they kind of like wobble a little bit to give it like body. Does that make sense at all? So when you're holding the projector, it doesn't stay completely still. And if the movie's projecting on something, it'll shift the image like on whatever you're holding it based on how the item's moving. It blew my mind that they programmed something that small into that game. But yeah, I'm loving this fucking game so far. Like, it easily is the best like $15 I've spent on a game in a while. So, and I do have a Game Pass code, so I'm hoping that works so I can hop on and play some of the Xbox stuff.
It has, I mean, given I've only paid like $1, but even I had paid like $20, it's already paid for itself. Like, even if Gears and Life is Strange 2 are the only games I managed to have time to play on Game Pass, it's been a fucking, it's paid for itself easily.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really all I've played. Kind of sucks. Like, I've done some mobile gaming here and there, but life is just too busy. But
it's mostly just 'cause fucking work, and then holidays happen and everything else. So
yeah, we did do MagFest in the beginning of the year. That was a ton of fun.
MagFest was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I cannot wait for next year. So
this is definitely the best MagFest I've had.
Yeah, this might be like my favorite con experience I've ever had. It just, all in all, it was really nice. Like, things just worked out really well. Fucking Power Glove, Urizen, Proto Men, just excellent performances all around. So, we have 2 other movies to discuss that we should probably get out of the way, just because this is already pushing about 45 minutes, and it's already after midnight here. So, the first one I guess we should talk about is probably American Gangster, since chronologically, in our movie timeline, that was realistically the last one we're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah, it was.
So it has been months since we've seen this, but I still recall loving the movie. Like,
and I recall not loving the movie.
Yeah, I really liked it. Story-wise, it all worked for me. It was a little long, but I loved like all the character progression in it. Russell Crowe was great. Denzel was great. Like,
who Denzel?
Yeah. It was just a really solid gangster film for me, and I'm really not a big fan of those in the first place.
Yeah, I just thought it was fucking like slow. Found myself checking my phone a lot. Like, it was just not holding my attention. I don't know. Just something about it I just couldn't get into.
That's a little disappointing. I felt like it was paced really well too. Like, I don't really know what to say to make you like that movie. I don't know if I can, but
I just don't know. But
yeah, we're honestly just gonna jump ahead. We have
it was.
This is really this is more of a catch up episode than anything else. So
but since I have a whole lot more things to say about The Martian anyway, because I loved The Martian.
I'm glad you have a lot to say about that, because I don't, even though I liked it. I found it hard to really find a lot to say about it, but obviously that is kind of a cue that the next thing we're going to talk about is The Martian.
The Martian.
That was a movie that
Matt Damon.
That was a movie that I picked. I picked Martian, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I love space films in general. And,
oh God, fucking love space films so much.
And this was a very good potato film that had space around it, basically.
Yup.
Let's be honest. This movie is essentially an ad for Ireland. Like, it, nothing but potatoes.
Did you ever read the book?
Nope.
You really should, or audiobook it, because
dude, my audiobook queue is so goddamn deep right now that's not happening for a while.
Who fucking read it?
Oh, we can talk about it.
I think it was Will Wheaton. I think it was Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton? Was it Will Wheaton?
That did the audiobook for that one.
I have mixed feelings on Will Wheaton as an audiobook narrator.
I think I might be remember some other fucking like nerd personality, but I feel like it was Will Wheaton. But
like how you're just like fucking nerd personality.
Nerd personality, like your Felicia Days or your Dan Harmons or whatever.
God, I love that woman. Let's see.
But yeah, I really like the movie. I'm a sucker for sci-fi. I'm a sucker for like, I don't know if that's the right term for it, but like hard sci-fi.
Yeah, it was Will Wheaton that did it.
Was it Will Wheaton? Okay, cool. Good memory.
I'm sorry, Will Wheaton. Will
Wheaton. Thank you. Well, he did a really good job. I need to like listen to it again. It's been a couple years, but
I didn't
that's
mind.
one I wouldn't mind.
He narrated Ready Player One, and I didn't mind his narration for that because, you know, it's all nerd nostalgia pop culture. Mm-hmm. So I wonder how well it would translate to more science-based stuff. But
well, he did another book that author Andy Weir. He also did one called it's the one where it's like a colonize the moon kind of thing. Artemis, that's the one.
Yeah, that's
that audio.
Wasn't that narrated by
Rosario Dawson?
Rosario Dawson. Yeah, I own that. Yeah.
She did a really good job too.
Okay,
like,
so while we're on the topic of Felicia Day being like hot as sin,
all right.
Rosario Dawson also. Just saying, I respect where it's due.
Yep.
But I have not listened to Artemis. I did buy that when it came out because it was recommended, and I think it was like
that's a solid ass book. I liked it a lot.
I got that on a buy to get one through Audible, which was nice.
But yeah, that fits into the hard sci-fi thing where it's like, yeah, this shit is possible, kind of like technology. Or maybe it's contemporary sci-fi. Maybe that's what that genre would be called. I'm really not sure, but
I don't know either.
Or like stuff like The Expanse, you know, where the tech is reasonably until you get into like proto-molecule bullshit, but like where the tech is like, okay, yeah, I can see how this is completely possible in a few years.
Oh, I did pick up the short story for
hard science.
I picked up the short story for The Expanse that came out recently. Oberon, I think. I
don't think I've read that. I'll have to grab it.
It's only like the short stories are like 2 hours long. They're really easy to go through, but I liked The Martian. I liked it a lot. I thought Matt Damon was great in this.
Yeah, he captured the character from the book like really well. I think he did a great job.
I kept thinking back to do you remember a movie with Gary Sinise called Mission to Mars?
No.
Yeah, so
maybe I don't know. I've been watching a lot of fucking sci-fi movies lately, so I may have watched it and just don't remember.
When did Mission to Mars come out? I want to say maybe 2004 or 5. I'm gonna look this up real quick. But anyway, Mission to Mars was about a mission to Mars, and that's the end of that story. It came out in 2000. It's literally about that. It's about a mission to Mars. You have Gary Sinise, who's this like, I won't say grizzled, but sort of like veteran, you know, of the space missions. Mm-hmm. He realizes this is going to be like his last hurrah, maybe. And it's them going to Mars to be like the first people to land on there, and they find this like weird signal. And this weird signal turns into a giant fucking face. It's so weird.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to watch that shit. That sounds like some shit I'd sink my teeth into.
The movie, if you're gonna watch it, do you care if I ruin how it ends?
I would rather you not, because you've already piqued my interest.
So the movie totally ends with a family feel-good moment, and everybody dies. But I got a lot of Mission to Mars vibes from this, just because I think anytime I see like people landing on Mars for the first time, I default to that movie for some reason, because I saw it when I was younger and it just stuck with me. It's not a great movie. Let's get that out of the way right now. It's not it's not terrible, but it's not as good as The Martian, like in any shape or form. But it's nowhere near as bad as John Carpenter's Ghost of Mars, which
John Carpenter movies.
Okay, look, first of all, the man did The Thing, which is fucking amazing. But he also did Ghost of Mars, which is
I think he also did, I think it was a movie called Bad Taste, or maybe it's In Bad Taste.
I don't know.
Either way, it was
of Mars
that movie's
it
was an experience.
Anyway, let's get back to The Martian. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, just overall, it was a really damn good movie. Great character performances. Chiwetel Ejiofor, I can never pronounce his name right. The guy from 12 Years a Slave was amazing in it. Jeff Daniels, great in it. Matt Damon, great. Like, there was not one bad performance in this movie. Yeah, really good. I need to listen to the books. I don't know how close it compares to it, but I would give this a solid, like, maybe 7.5 out of 10, maybe 8.
It's pretty... So the book and the movie are pretty close, except for one huge hunk that they cut out from the movie.
Venus in the book?
No. Most of it's, like, pretty spot on, but there's a huge hunk. I don't want to ruin anything, because I legitimately want you to read the book. But
I'm going to read the book, but you can't say that and then not say what it is on the pod. So just say it. It's fine.
Like... All I'll really say is, like, okay, he's you know, when he is using the camera and, like, all the letters and everything,
yes,
to spell out messages. Okay, so when he's doing that at one point, he fucks up, like, real hard, and he is completely cut off from NASA. Like he can't send any messages, receive whatever. So he fucks up hard, like he breaks something, and it's not fixable. So he basically, there's this huge struggle and everything of him having to get ready for this month-long journey to get to the old Hab unit.
Yeah.
And it's like, and in the movie, it's just like, all right, I'm there. here I am. So that's really the only thing. Like, it took out a big, like, struggle that he kind of goes through in the book, and it was just kind of fine in the movie.
I guess even without having read it, I can kind of understand why they might want to cut that, because making that part of the movie might be a little hard. But yeah, I'll go through the book at some point. I have a massive podcast and audiobook backlog right now. This podcast is not sponsored by Audible yet.
Audible.
Seriously, I've been giving you people money for like 4 years. Can you just sponsor us so I don't have to do it anymore? That'd be great. While we're on the topic of Audible, I would like to... We can go back to the movies in a minute, but I would like to talk about 2 books and a podcast that I recently finished. I'll do the podcast first, because that's easy. I went through all of the Adventure Zone, which is a D&D podcast.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Absolutely loved it. It was like the first arc of it is some of the best storytelling I've ever seen. It started off a little slow, but man, once it got into it, I was hooked on that for about 2 weeks straight. And each of those episodes is between like an hour and a half to 3 hours long. That was good stuff. Good on them. But the 2 books I finished were... I'll start with the one... Actually, that's not true. I'm sorry. I finished one book. I'm in the process of going... No, wait, I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah, I did. I finished 2 books, and I'm going through a 3rd one right now. The one that I liked was The Institute by Stephen King. That was great. I went through that whole book in like 2.5 days. Not the greatest Stephen King book in the world, I'll say, but a really solid plot line, and I really hope it leads to a sequel. Like that, I don't read many of his books that end in a way that definitely like strong arm the possibility of a sequel, but damned if this one didn't, and I really want more of it because it was really good.
What did I finish?
I also finished one called Cosmology of Monsters, which kind of like House of the Devil. Man, the beginning of that book was so fucking good, and then the last like 5 minutes of it just shot it in the face hard. Garbage. Absolute garbage. I was so angry at the end of that book.
I finished... So I think I've mentioned before that I love me some urban fantasy books. Like I have read some trashy ones. I read some really good ones, but I read the 10th book in a series I've been reading for a long time. called it's the Alex Verus book series by Benedict Jacka.
That doesn't sound like a real thing.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a thing, but it was really good. I think he does like a book a year, maybe he might do, or maybe every couple years, but it's always a treat when those come out. I've always have enjoyed those. I also read a book in a sci-fi like comedy book series that I really like called Space Team. I don't know if I ever told you about that. It is very comical, and I'm listening to it on audiobook, and the narrator just fucking helps these jokes hit so much better.
Did I ever tell you about Mars Corp? The podcast?
It's so fucking funny. No?
Okay. If you want like space, like black comedy, you need to listen to Mars Corp. There's only one season of it, and it's all voiced, like it's a full voice crew. I think it's made in Europe, and these guys are fucking geniuses. I've been waiting almost 2 years for the second season of this to come out, and luckily the first season of it is a self-contained story. You don't really need anything else to go with it. But Mars Corp, yeah, can't stress how good that is.
Podcasting?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
last one of those I listened to was that Marvel Wolverine podcast that they did.
Cool.
Fucking, it wasn't. It sucked.
Yeah, you should listen
to fucking
Mars
trash. I'll have to look into it. Fucking, why would you make a Wolverine an eco-terrorist?
I don't know. Just fuck whatever you're talking about. Listen to Mars Corp. I don't give a fuck about eco-terrorist Wolverine.
Good, because it's bad.
I am currently reading / listening to Joe Hill's short story collection, Full Throttle, and that's been pretty good so far. I'm like 2 stories into that, and it's pretty decent.
I've always felt that Stephen King excels most in his short story. Is this true for Joe Hill as well?
I have not listened to enough of the book to make that decision yet, because I've only listened to 2 of his books. I've done Nosferatu and Heart-Shaped Box.
Those are the only 2 I've done, oddly enough. I haven't listened to any of his other ones.
I haven't read excuse me. I haven't read Lock and Key, which I know is really good. I know the Netflix series is coming out soon.
I have read that. That's a good-ass comic book series, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's him. So
yeah, I know it is. I know. I'm just telling you, it's a really fucking good comic series if you ever get to read it.
Well, the Netflix series is coming out, so I'm kind of excited for that.
Cool.
But we can keep talking about books, but I want to end it for me on this. It is going to be a very good year for me, hopefully, with books, because not only do I have the 4th book in the Stormlight Archive series coming out November 20th, because Brandon Sanderson is a goddamn Terminator in terms of writing. That man is only going to be stopped by death, and he might actually be able to outright death and continue writing. We have the final book in The Expanse coming out this year, unless something happens.
Yup.
That's going to be great. And then
it's kind of sad. It's going to be bittersweet.
But I am actually going to look up how long it's been since this last book. Let's see.
The last one came out 2019 for sure.
Not the last one for The Expanse. I'm looking up.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a series of books that I really enjoy called the Gentleman Bastard series. I think you'd actually like them too. The first one is called The Lies of Locke Lamora. The second one is Red Seas Under Red Skies. And then the third one was Republic of Thieves. They're all written by Scott Lynch. They are essentially, I won't say high fantasy. They are actually, they're kind of like urban medieval steampunk fantasy. It's not steampunk. It's more urban medieval urban medieval fantasy.
Okay.
With like a slight European Italian twist on it. Follows these 2 thieves who train under this guy, like teaches thieves or whatever. That's what the first one's about. The second one is a pirate story involving them. It's great. I love the second one. And the third one is a bank heist. Like, they are really fun books to go through, and the audiobooks are even better. Like, the narrator for the books is just spot on. This dude is great at creating characters. But the reason I bring this up is because it's been 7 years since the last book. Scott Lynch, I do not want to knock anyone who has anxiety or goes through life issues, because I get it. Things happen, you know, shit happens to people. But back in 2013, he said he had the basic draft up for the next book, which is called The Thorn of Emberlane, and that he was going to be working on it. It was supposed to come out in 2015. This all rolls around, and it's like 2017 at this point, and it drops that like he has clinical anxiety and that his wife was considering divorcing him and all this stuff. So it's like, well, shit, you know, he's got all this going on. This might never get finished, all this other stuff. And then you find out that he's posting that he's been going to all these conventions and meeting all these fans and talking up the book, and I hate that. Like,
the George R.R. Martin scheme.
yes, exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
This sounds familiar.
Look, man, live your life, do what you want, but if you just don't feel like writing, just say it. Like, if the book's gonna come out in like fucking 3 or 4 years, fine, but don't try and pass off that it's gonna come out in a year. But he posted a picture. I started doing yearly checkups on the subreddit for this in like 2017, and then I missed it because back in May he actually posted the manuscript and said it was done. So I hope to God that fucking book comes out this year. God damn it.
See, you should just people should just be artists, like the fucking the manga writer for an artist for Berserk. He's addicted to Idolmaster. That's why we haven't gotten any Berserk in a while. He's just addicted to that shit. So, hey, at least he's honest about it.
I really hope that book comes out. But you really should check out the Gentleman Bastard series. I think you would dig it. Okay. But anyway, yeah, we've spent a good amount of this podcast talking about books. It was kind of nice.
Yeah. No, man.
But, yeah, I would definitely recommend American Gangster. I would also recommend The Institute by Stephen King. So far, I would recommend Full Throttle by Joe Hill. I would not recommend Cosmology of Monsters by a person whose name I'm not even going to bother looking up right now. And I would recommend the Gentleman Bastard series and The Expanse and anything that Brandon Sanderson writes. If that man decides to write a manual on toilet repair, it's going to be the most captivating fucking manual you've ever read.
Does he only do high fantasy?
No, he did a science fiction, like, young adult book called, I think, Skyward a year, maybe 2 years ago. Dude, the man writes everything. Like, just go look at Brandon Sanderson.
He is more word processor than man.
He writes the way Stephen King used to write.
Oh, shit. A lot?
Yeah, like, seriously.
A lot, often, and with quality?
It is very, I'm not gonna lie, it's very hard to jump into the Stormlight Archive series because these are thick fucking books. But god damn, dude, like, this man's ability to balance two continental storylines in terms of a war, while also telling a story from 1,000 years ago that all weaves together and somehow manages to pull characters in from other book series he's written without you having to know anything about them. Like, it is so criminally impressive to me what Brandon Sanderson does, and like his timeline that he's crafted, where he said like he has a 20-year plan for his books. His series is called The Cosmere, and it makes Marvel's extended universe look like child's play. Like, it's so impressive what this guy does, and I really hope he keeps writing at the level he's at, because I will always recommend the Stormlight Archives to people. Great books.
Cool.
But anyway, yeah. And I recommend The Martian. I don't know if I said that or not, but whatever.
Yeah, well, if you didn't, I recommend it. Book and movie.
Yeah.
And Artemis.
Well, Zach, it is your turn to pick our next movie, which, assuming my computer doesn't blow up, which it better not for what this thing cost.
I know, I need to build a new one. It's time.
We will work on that tomorrow if you get on. But for now, Zach, what we're going to work on is you telling people what our next movie is.
Because I'm the one person in the world who has never seen it, we are going to watch Good Will Hunting.
Well, what do you know? I've never seen it either.
Have you not?
Nope.
I figured that is a movie I used to hear about constantly. The fucking always with the jokes and the references back in the day. I just assumed that was just I was the one person who never saw it.
Nope.
So
I
cool.
never really had that much of an interest in seeing it. So
yeah. Awesome.
We'll give that a go and report on that in the next one. But for now, we're gonna end this here and hope to God I can find a way to edit the weird ass middle part of this. But
yeah, probably.
Anyway, Zach, do your thing.
Goodbye and good night.
We will see you guys in the next one.
Later.